Privyet, everyone. There has been a lot of videos being made, not just by Daro, but by other people responding to Daro about the sex abuse or the lack thereof in the Kingdom Hall. Okay, Daro said in his last video, I only watched the first 2 minutes because it was so sickening, I just stopped watching it. He said I did not attack a 9-year-old child. I attacked a 25-year-old alleged victim from when she was 9. Okay, genius, that's attacking a 9-year-old child. You know, your brain just ain't right. Okay, I don't know, if all the drugs or whatever, have clouded your common sense, or you took a massive injury to your frontal lobe. I don't know, but you're not right, dude. And Candace Conti would not have been awarded $13 million in court if there was not some evidence. And Daro says that was overturned, which I doubt. I don't think it was. But still, no court is going to award somebody that kind of money if there wasn't some kind of factual proof. And the way I look at it, I am not friends with Bobby Ploss. Okay, I am going to tell Daro and everybody on here exactly what I told Bobby Ploss. According to, you can read any book, Google any video, like John Douglas, Robert Ressler, Stephen Ainsworth, any of these criminal profilers. I think, who was the guy? Not Brooks Poston. His last name was Brooks. He's the one, him and John Douglas, who, Silence of the Lambs, that movie Silence of the Lambs, Jack Crawford was portraying John Douglas. Okay, but they have all said there is no one-time sex offender. Okay, John Douglas said something that is so true. He said, being a serial rapist or a child molester is not something you do, but what you are. That's what you are. There is no forgiveness for that. There is no redemption or rehabilitation. They say nobody has been successfully rehabilitated from being any type of sex offender. Doesn't happen. It's your nature. You're sick. There's something in your mind that's twisted, and that's just what you are. Okay, what do John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Richard Allen Davis, Wesley Dodd, there's several others. What do these 4 men have in common? They were all sex offenders who went to prison for molesting a child and came out of prison having learned one lesson: never leave a living witness. John Wayne Gacy was convicted in I think 1972 or 1974 of sodomizing a 12-year-old boy in Waterloo, Iowa, and he later became a serial killer in Chicago. Jeffrey Dahmer was convicted of child molestation. They put him in a rehab facility where he would leave during the day to work. He went on to become a serial killer, leaving no witnesses. Okay. And, a lot of times children will not, they will convict these guys of lesser offenses. They'll plead guilty to a lesser offense. So, because their lawyer will say, look, we know you did it. We don't want to have to put this little 9-year-old child up on the witness stand to relive the horror you put them through. You're busted. Plead guilty, plead down to a lesser offense. That's usually what happens. I studied criminal psychology in college, and afterward, I really, really got into it. It's not because I'm some groupie or something. It really fascinates me how minds work. There are 3 things that MARCI'A Hooley knows and knows well. The last two, you probably can't tell me anything about that I don't already know. Okay, I know about dog and cat behavior. I know about abdominal surgeries, and I know about serial killers. Freaks and perverts, I understand. And it kills me. I'm going to get passionate. I hear these witnesses say, oh, well, so-and-so, like there was this guy at the Price Hill congregation over in Cincinnati that attempted to rape a girl in New York State, a fellow witness. He hid in her closet and waited for her to come home from field service and jumped out and attempted to rape her. Okay, I talked to some women about a year ago at the carts. That guy, she said, they said he's still at the Price Hill congregation. His name's Lawrence. And they said, oh, but he's not allowed to have any position of authority in the congregation. Who the heck cares? That's not the issue. The issue is when I'm a rape survivor, I would get to the meetings early and he would be there and there would be an elder in the back milling around who did not tell me. I had a right to know I was talking to a sex offender. Me and Lawrence would sit there and talk, and his wife would drop him off and then go back to her house and pick up the neighbor children, little 7-year-old boys, and they would sit in between her and him at the meetings. Did their parents know that they were sending their children off with a sex offender? I didn't find this out until about 6 months after I quit studying. There was Lawrence on the 6 o'clock news. He was suing the Department of Corrections because they were infringing on his religious rights by saying he could only go out in field service 1 hour a month. He was on the news. His picture, there he was, bold as you please. A picture I took, and I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea, and I had a right to know. Those little children's parents had a right to know. That's the point. They're going out into an unsuspecting community and learning, what time they're home, learning how many children they have in the house. They see swing sets in the back. That is a public safety issue. It should not be a matter of, well, we only report it if it's dictated by the state that we live in, or because, every state differs. It is a daggone human decency thing. Let me tell you something right now. If somebody molested my grandson Landon and the neighbors or somebody I went to church with, I told him, Landon's having a really hard time, and so. The cops came to his house and arrested him last night. And somebody, a good friend of mine, supposed to be a good friend, says, oh, I knew that he had a history of that, but I didn't think it was my place to say anything. You know what? You're going to get a beat down from me. It is going to be my life's mission to make your life a living purgatory. I'm going to key your car. I'm going to, make your life a living hell. I'm not going to kill you, but by the time I'm done with you, you're going to wish that I killed you. Because to me, you are just as guilty as the perpetrator himself. Just as if you strip that kid's clothes off yourself. That's the way I see it. And, to these parents, Candace Conti's parents, how dare you? And that one woman, her name's Heather, she has her face tattooed. Her mother knew her husband was raping her little daughters, for years. Did nothing. The elders told her, it's your duty as a wife to stay with your husband. That duty goes out the window when you're diddling my kids, when you're hurting my babies or anybody's baby. That's the way I look at it. That duty's out the window, but it was her duty. But buddy, when her son started being abused, then God bless her, she had the strength to leave then. Yeah, right. Misogynistic witch. these parents are just as guilty. Because, oh, well, my family would talk to me and I'd be disfellowshipped and none of my friends will talk to me. You know what? If your friends and family won't talk to you because you protected your child, then those are not friends or family anyway, and you need to kick them to the curb. And you shouldn't have to be disfellowshipped. You should walk out. What is wrong with you people? What is the indoctrination so strong that you're just sickening, subhuman feces is the way I look at it, And, Daro says, well, there's no proof Candace Conti was molested or whatever. Well, is there any proof that she isn't? Daro, I don't understand how you feel that everything. Did you send, you can send $7 to the state of California and get any court transcript from any case. We could, go to Arizona, the clerk of courts, call them and send a fee of probably, in Kentucky, it's $3. But, it varies by state, and get the transcripts of those trials because it's a matter of public record if there was a conviction. And did you do that with Candace Conti's case? Unless you did, shut up about it. You don't know what the heck you're talking about. Just like you spout off in Daro and you don't know the first thing what you're talking about. MKT carries a purse. Where is that coming from? He's a crack dealer. What, are you mad because he won't sell you any? Is that what the problem is? Personally, I think that the upper echelon of the governing body of the Jehovah's Witness organization are members of NAMBLA, National North American Boy Love Association, because it's almost a prerequisite with them, just like with the Catholic priest, Oh, they're that's just common knowledge. Jehovah's Witnesses just keep it out of the spotlight better. They were able to until the internet. And that's why they're ready to spit nails. So, I wanted to say something about this, put in my 2 cents. But it's not a matter of the dictates of the law. It's a matter of human decency. I'm an empath, so I make the mistake of automatically assuming that everybody else feels empathy, and, we are our brother's keeper. Like it or not, we are to a certain extent. So that's all I have to say about this today. And if you liked it, hit the like button. Let me know you were here. Give me your thoughts on it. And God bless you all. And I'll see you next time. Love y'all. Bye.